Hey guys, so welcome back to the video class. So on this video we're going to continue working on our pages. So we have our sliding page for each one of our signatures. So these are our base pages. I do want these pages to be simple but really cute and fun as well. And of course I want to add some pop-up elements. So we're going to start with the very first page. This is going to be 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and we are going to score along the 6 3/4 score tool, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then just fold, and I'm going to grab my first page and add the glue on this 1/2 inch. And then we're going to add this piece along the top of the page. Okay, so we're just gonna put that right here and press down. And then I'm going to grab one of my little scrap pieces. This is going to be, this is 2. We're gonna do this by about 5. Okay. And we're going to score at 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so 2 by 5. And we're going to fold along the score lines. Then I'm going to open up this page. So we're going to open this up and add this little piece here. So the 1 inch side by itself, I am going to add down here at the center. Place that right there. And then we're going to fold these 2 back and add glue on this 1 inch. And then we're just going to fold these 2 back and close this page. Okay. And we are going to be decorating as we go. So I'm going to grab my paper and I'm going to start with the first page here. So I'm just grabbing one of my designs and we're just going to put this right on the front. So this is going to be 6 by 6. So I'm just going to cut this top and let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm gonna place that right at the center here. Okay, then I'm going to open this up. We have this little pop-up place and I'm going to grab this piece. This is from my scraps. So this measures 5 by 8 1/2, and we are going to score along the 8 1/2 at 4 1/4 and folds. Okay, and then we are going to bring this back and I'm going to put this piece here on the front of this little pop-up little piece. Add the glue and we're going to make sure this opens to the side and just place that here. And there we go. So now I'm just going to close these and press down. And so when you open this up, you're going to have this easy little pop-up page. And now we're going to close that. For the inside of each one of the pages, I'm going to wait to see what design papers I have left. And maybe complement with some different color paper. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and work on the back. So for the back, I'm going to let me actually look at my paper that I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to use this one here and I'm going to cut this piece. Let's do this at 5 1/2 by 6 1/4, and we're going to score along the 5 1/2 at 1/2 inch. Okay, and fold, and then we're going to, I'm just gonna bring this back and glue this on the left side of the page at my glue. Okay, and we're gonna put this right here, press down. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this piece. Here. We're gonna do this at 6 by 4 3/4. Okay, and we are going to add this right here. So I think I'm going to ink just a little bit here on the edge. Okay, right where I cut. We go. And then we're just going to glue this piece. I'm gonna glue this down. Okay, so that is gonna go right here. Press, press, press down. Now for this opening page, I do want to add just a fun little pop-up. So let me grab some lightweight cardstock. So I'm gonna grab one piece here, and we're going to cut this at 4 by 6 and score along the 6 inches. We are going to score at 1 1/2, at 3, and at 4 1/2. And along the 4 inches, we are going to do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we are just going to add this little pop-up. So we're going to cut the corner sections out. Okay, it's always fun to add this type of kind of like a pop and twist. Okay, so we're going to cut all of those. And then we are going to fold from the top score line to the left. So we're just going to go like that, match those two, pinch this and press down. And then we're going to go from the top to the right. So we're going to go like that. Okay, and press down. Okay, so we fold it from the top to the left and then from the top to the right. And now we're going to pinch these together and just press down. Okay, so press down right here. And that's going to be the base for the pop-up. Then I'm going to cut another piece. This might work. So this is going to be 2 by 2 1/2. Okay, I'm just using the scrap piece, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, at 2, and at 3 1/2. Okay, and we are just going to fold along the score lines, and we're going to keep these folded at the center, but the 2 1/2 inch, we're just going to leave them flat, and we are going to glue this little piece right here in between these two sections. Okay, so we're going to add glue on this side and on the back here, so this piece can go right in between. And then when you add this, you don't want to cross this, the score line, okay, the 1/2 inch score line. We want to make sure we don't cross that, and then fold these on both sides. Okay, so press down. Then we're going to grab our page, and I'm just going to cut the little tip here so I have a flat flat area right there, and we're gonna glue that right at the center against that bending line. So I'm just gonna add my glue and add this here, and then we're going to add glue on the front and close this piece here on top. Okay, so let's press this down, and I'm gonna put that to the side for now, and I'm going to cut. I'm gonna go back to my heavyweight, so I'm gonna put my lightweight here on the side, and we are going to cut a piece that is going to be, let's do 3 by 8, and we're going to score at 4 inches along the 8-inch side. Okay, so we're going to score at 4 and fold. Now we're going to bring this back. When you open this up, you're going to have your pop-up feature, and on this side here on the bottom, we're going to add the glue, and we're going to glue this layout right here. Okay, so you want to line it up with the edge here, and then just place it at the center. I think I centered this right, so I'm gonna move it over right there. Okay, so that's gonna be your pop-up, and then this is gonna open to the side, and so we're gonna close the whole thing right here like that. So let's press down, and then there we go. So that's gonna open up like this. Isn't that a cute little front pop-up? And then you can open this up, another place for a picture. So those are gonna be our first 2 pages. Now let's put this to the side and continue working with the next page here. So I'm going to cut again a piece that is going to be 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and score at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4, mainly because I want my front page to measure the exact size, so I don't have to prop my beautiful paper. I just think this paper is so cute, I don't want to have to cut it too much. So next, I think I'm gonna use this page here, and again I'm gonna cut these at 6 by 6. So I'm just gonna take out this front, the top piece right there. Let me go ahead and ink. Okay, so we are going to ink. Okay, and let's glue this piece. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Actually, I want this to also open along the top, so you want the score line to be along the top. Okay, so press down, press down. There we go. And we're going to add this along the top like I said, so just line it up here and press down. Okay, and then this is going to open up like that. Alright, so now for this page, I'm going to cut 2 pieces. These are going to be 7 1/4 by 1. So these are 2 and not 1. Then I'm going to cut 2 pieces. These are going to be 3 by 1. Okay, so just got this on 1 here, and we're going to score along the 7 inches, so the longer piece. Oh, I think I cut this wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna double check that this is 1 inch. Okay, I made it a little bit too fat, and then I made this one too skinny, so I'm just gonna cut another one. Yeah, it has to be exactly 1, because if you cut it too big, your loop is not gonna slide, and if you cut it too narrow, then your loop is gonna wobble. So make sure we're right at 1 inch. Okay, so along the 7 1/4, we're going to score at 1 inch. Sorry, not a 1 inch. We're gonna score at 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4. Okay, long day, guys. Sorry. So again, along the 7 1/4, we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4. And we're going to fold, and then fold here, and then we're going to do the loops just like we did for our pages, and we're going to score at 1 1/8 and 2 1/4, 1 1/8 and 2 1/4, and then we're going to do our loops. Just gonna glue that together, and same thing here. We're just gonna fold these loops, and then we're going to add this onto each one of the belt pieces. Then I'm going to cut 2 pieces, and these 2 are going to be let me cut it like this. They're gonna be 5 by 6 1/4. Okay, and something here, 6 1/4 by 5. Now let's bring this back. We're going to open this up, and we're going to add our first loop along the top. We're gonna add our glue here, and place this really close to the top, maybe about 1/8 of an inch away from the bending line. Okay, so press down and press down, and we're going to glue the other one along the bottom here, and I'm just gonna add my glue and line this up right there. Okay, so press down and press down. Okay, so now to add our floral areas, we are going to push one of these loops to the left and one to the right. Okay, and then we're going to add the glue here, and we're going to place these here. Just gonna line it up with the edges of the page, and it's gonna go along the top. Make sure you have room to glue, fold this over, so don't put it too close to the bending line. And then for the other one, we're just gonna add the glue here and put this one right there like that. So now we have a double sliding page. So let me press down here. Sorry if I'm speaking weirdly, because I have this, I feel I have something stuck in my throat, and I had it the whole day, and I'm just avoiding that urge to cough, so I apologize for that. Okay, so now over here we have this double sliding page. Isn't it cute? And then you can add a picture on the center there as well, and then you can slide it back in place, and there you go. That is going to be this page. Again, I'll finish up adding the paper at the end. So let me slide it back the other way because I want this one to be tucked under the other one. And there we go. So now this is gonna close. That's gonna be this page. I'm gonna be finishing up the side pockets here, the sliding pockets, at the end. So let's just continue with our next page. So for this back page, I'm going to cut one page at 6.5 by 6.25, and we are going to score along the 6.5 at 1/2 inch and fold along the score line, and we are going to glue these on the left side here again, and we are just going to add the glue, okay, and place this right here, and then we're going to press and press down. Then I'm going to cut two other pieces, and we are going to do these two here. We're gonna cut this. Maybe I can just use one of these. So this is going to be 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so 5.5 by 8.5, and we are going to score along the 8.5. We're gonna score at 4 and 8. Okay, so we're gonna score 4 and 8. Same thing on this one, 4 and 8. And then we're going to fold along the score lines. Okay, same thing here, and fold. And then we're going to bring this back, and let's open this up, and we are going to add these two accordion folds. Okay, so one along the top. So let's add the glue and place that at the center, just like that, and then press down. And then we're going to add the other one. Let's clean that up. We're going to add this one along the bottom. See. Okay, so one on each side here. Make sure they're lined up, and press down. Okay, so now here when we open up this page, we're gonna have these two accordion folds, and then that is gonna close everything. And we are going to use another one of our full pages, and this one we're just gonna cut a little bit at 5 3/4. Yes, and that will go right here. So I'm just going to ink all of this. Okay, and glue this down. Okay, so let's put this piece right here and press down. Gotta center it. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Okay, so press down, and that is gonna be our page number 4. And here you go, so cute. So now we're gonna cut again another page. We're gonna do the same for all the fronts, I'm thinking. So 6 3/4 by 6 1/4. And we are going to score at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4. And fold. And then we're gonna bring this over here. And I think actually for this page I'm gonna glue this on the right side. So let's add the glue, and I'm gonna line this up right here and press down. Okay, and then I'm going to, let me just go ahead and select the next page here. So that, I haven't used this one. Okay, so let's use this one here. Or have we? I can't remember. Okay, so we have that one, this one, that, yeah. So let's use this little guy. And we are going to, again, just cut these at 6 by 6. And I'm going to ink. Okay, and then we're going to glue this down. Put that right there. Okay, and then press down. So now I'm going to cut one piece. This is going to be 6 by 8.5. And we're going to score along the 8.5. We're going to score at 1 inch, at 4 1/4, and we're going to score at 7.5. Okay, and then along the 6 inches, I am going to score at 2 3/4 and at 3 1/4. Okay, and now we're going to fold these along the 4 1/4 score line here, and then you want to bring these to 1 inch sections forward. Okay, and then this one this way too, but we're going to keep these two flat, and then I'm going to cut these two along these two score lines. So let's cut these here. So I'm just gonna go along the line, and same thing over here. Okay, so we're gonna take this out like that, and then I'm just gonna take it out actually, and there we go. So we're gonna have this piece that looks like that. Then we're going to bring our page, and I'm going to open this up, and we are going to fold these two 1 inch back. Okay, so this one to the front, this one to the back, and we are going to glue this piece here. So we're going to add glue on the 1 inch. Okay, so let's just place that right there. Add glue over on this 1 inch and close this page, and then we're going to open it, and we're gonna add glue on the other 1 inch right here. Okay, and then we're going to close this page again, and then just press down, give that a second to dry, and then when you open this up, we're gonna have a fun little pop-up right here. So you have place for 4 pictures in here, and also 2 more on the sides. So fun little layout. Now let's work on the back. So for the back, I'm just gonna do a pocket, and so we are gonna cut this piece at 7 1/4 by, let's do 4. Okay, and we're going to score along the 7 1/4 at 1/2 inch, and at 6 3/4, and along the 4 we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then we're just gonna cut the corners like that. and fold along the score lines. Okay, and we're going to just add these right here on the page. Add my glue, add my glue, and there we go. And so that's gonna go right over here. Okay, so I'm trying to stay away from that bending line, and then just press down, and press down here. Okay, so just a simple pockets for this back page. And let's add the design paper. I think this one will be really cute. And we're going to cut these. This is going to be just 6 by 3 1/4. So we're gonna do 3 1/4. And then this one we're just gonna take out the top here and ink. Okay, and so we're gonna ink all around. Okay, and we are going to glue this on the back. Let's add the glue back here. And then I'm going to glue this one on top. Okay, so there we go. That's gonna go here and press down. So cute. I love that page. Okay, and so there we go. So far we have our 3 signatures done, and we're gonna move right along to this next one here. So for this one, again, I'm going to do my piece that is going to be 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4. Okay, and then fold, and we're going to add this page here. So yeah, let's do it. I was thinking placing it on the bottom, but I think we're just gonna do it along the top. So let's add our glue and press down. Okay, so then we're going to do 2 pieces. These are going to be 6 by 8, and we are going to score at 4 inches along the 8-inch side, and then just fold. And I have my second one here. Then we're also going to cut 2 pieces. I'm just going to use my little scraps for this, and these are going to be 2 by 4. Okay, so 2 by 4, 2 by 4, and we're going to score along the 2 inches at 1 inch. Okay, so at 1 inch, and fold along the score line. And then we're going to bring back our page and open this up, and we are going to add these 2 pieces. So I'm going to put one up on the left and one here on the right, and let's glue this down. So I'm just going to put one on each side. So press down, and then we're going to add this one over here, press down, And now we're going to glue this piece one on each one of these connector pieces. So I'm just going to add the glue, and then we're going to put that right here, and then this one's going to open up, press down, and then open to this side. And then we're going to do the same on this other one. Okay, so place that right there, press down, open this up, and then this is going to open to the side. So close and close and close. And now I'm just going to add my paper. So I'm gonna use this page and just cut this at 6, and let's ink. Okay. And then we're going to glue this piece. Okay, so let's add that right over here and press down. Okay, and that is going to be this page. Now let's move to the back, and so we are going to cut this back piece at 6.5 by 6.25, and we're going to score along the 6.5 at 1/2 inch, and just fold, and we are going to add this piece right here on the left side, and we're gonna do another pop and twist type of pop-up. So we're gonna just press down, and so we're gonna use again a piece from our lightweight cardstock and cut this at 6 by 4, and then we are going to score just like we did the other one. We're gonna score at 1, 2, and 3 along the 4 inches, and then we're gonna do 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Take out the corner pieces. Okay, so the same base for the pop-up. Take that out. Take that and take this here. Then I'm going to fold again from the top to the left. So we're just gonna line these up. Okay, and then press down, and then we're gonna go from the top to the right and press down, and then we're just going to pinch the sides here and press down. Okay, and I'm going to just make sure that my sides are even, like that. Now we're going to cut another piece. I'm just going to use one of my heavyweights, and I am going to do this piece here. Let's cut this at 4. Let's do 4.5. Maybe 4.5 by 11, and we are going to score at 2 3/4, and then at 5.5, and then at 8 1/4. Okay, so 2 3/4, 5.5, and 8 1/4, and we're gonna fold these as an accordion fold and fold like that. And then we're going to glue this piece right in between these two sections here, and we're going to make sure that the center is pointing out away from this piece right here. Okay, so we're gonna just glue that. So I'm gonna add my glue on this side and on the back. And we don't have a score line this time, but we're just gonna make sure that we are not too close to this top. Okay, so just about that much distance, and then press down both sides, and press down. Now we're gonna bring back our page and open this up, and again I'm just gonna cut the tip so I can glue this against the bending line. Okay, so I'm gonna add my glue, and we're gonna place this right here at the center, and then let's place this straight. There you go. And then we're going to add glue on the other side. Okay, and then press down, and we're gonna let this dry. And on the meantime, we're just gonna glue our page. Okay, so let's see which one can we use. Are also pretty. Okay, so maybe this one. I don't want to use the backs because the backs don't really have the little mice. That one looks similar to this one here. Okay, well this is probably taking me way too long to just choose a page, so I'm just gonna take this one, and we're gonna cut these here at 6 by 5 3/4, and we're going to ink all around. Okay, and glue this down. Okay, so that can go there, and there we go. So now we have all of our pages. Let's do a quick look here. So this one opens up. We have the dimensional page, then this one has the pop-up that opens up, then over here this opens. We have the sliding pages. On the back we have just the 2 accordion folds. Over here we have this other pop-up page. On the back just a pocket. Over here we have this kind of like I don't know what to call this, kind of like a waterfall in a way. And then back here we have our pop-up. Look how cute. So a lot of places for pictures. So we're gonna stop right here for now, and next we're gonna be adding the pages to the base, and also want to add some cute elements here on the side pages. So I'll see you on the next video.